Most people would raise their hand and say, I'm a visual thinker. Whether there's science to that, there's debate, but most people, visual and experiential data tends to get logged into long-term memory. And so if you want to build a team and have people remember connections and make connections lasting rather than fleeting, I would suggest using imagery. And this is one of the reasons I created this deck of cards called WeEngage cards. They've got pictures on one side and quotes on the other, and there's all sorts of ways you can use them. And I'm not trying to sell you a deck in the video because there's a free printable version in the link in the description. But for those of you who have not used pictures for team building in any context, the base use of them is just choose an image that represents a unique strength that you bring to this team, a challenge you're currently facing, something you really care about, right? And it turns out, even someone who's very logical thinking, if you lay out 50 images all over a table, people will choose image and associate some metaphor with it. And so one unique strength I bring to this team is that I'm able to unlock ideas and insights that are kind of tucked away in people's brains. I am really good at coming up with the right questions and the prompts and exercises to bring the best out in people. Here's the cool thing. You're watching this video, you heard me say that. I know your brain is gonna forget the words that I just said in about 30 seconds. But I can guarantee you, you're gonna remember this image for a lot longer than that because visual and experiential data tend to go into our long-term memory. And so, really useful tool for building team building. You can do an exercise called visualizing values. So you value integrity and respect and whatever else is written on your walls somewhere. You wanna make it concrete. Have everybody choose an image that represents a story where one of the company values really came alive or came to a head, where there was some conflict around ethics or something like that. And it turns out the brain and humans are creative enough to take just about any image and find some really cool link. And it creates this beautiful shielded discussion that's like, oh, I shared it because the photo allowed me to or inspired me to say that, rather than somebody having to take and assume all the social risk themselves to be vulnerable and share that. In that link in the description, there's also a bunch of activity ideas. If this is your first time to the channel, there are also 500 other ideas scattered all across. I'm Chad Littlefield. I get to do this for a living. If you want to see me live facilitating once a year in December, I host the Connector Summit. I'm super pumped about it because it's going to be a live gathering that's happening remotely. People all over the world who are responsible for hosting, facilitating groups of people to get them to connect, engage more deeply, and we get to dive into some best practices and experience the stuff rather than just learning really cool nuggets on a video like this. Have an awesome day.